The law of attraction is one of the biggest scams ever sold to ambitious people. Think about it. An entire industry built on telling you that if you just think positive enough, visualize hard enough, and believe deeply enough, success will magically flow to you. It's kind of genius, actually, because when it doesn't work, it's your fault, right? You didn't believe hard enough. Your vibration wasn't high enough. You let doubt creep in, or you didn't buy enough of the right crystals. Meanwhile, the people selling you the stuff are getting rich, not from manifesting, but from selling books, courses, and those crystals to people who keep failing and blaming themselves. I've worked with hundreds of entrepreneurs and spoken to tens of thousands. The ones who buy into this stuff always stay stuck. The ones who reject it and do the actual work, they win. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly why the law of attraction fails, what it's actually doing to your brain, and what elite performers do instead. My name is Itamar Marani. I'm an ex-Special Forces operative, undercover agent, jiu-jitsu black belt, was mentored by the Mossad's chief psychologist, and I'm the author of Elite Performance. I work with 7, 8, and 9-figure entrepreneurs to find clarity, get unstuck, and achieve their full potential fast. And if you appreciate me making this content for free, hit the like button so it helps me know more of what to make. Now, let's get into it. Let's call the law of attraction what it actually is. It's hiding, dressed up in spiritual language. You don't have to make the scary sales call. Just visualize the money coming in. You don't have to have the difficult conversation. Just affirm that everything will work out. And you don't have to actually face your fears. Just raise your vibrations and they'll dissolve on their own, right? It's basically a permission slip to avoid everything uncomfortable while still feeling like you're being productive and doing something. Basically, it gives you a warm and fuzzy false hope while hiding the challenges that success actually requires you to overcome. And that's exactly why people love it. You get to sit in your room, close your eyes, imagine success, and tell yourself you're working on your goals. So you feel good, you feel aligned, and you feel like something is happening. But nothing actually is. You're just hiding from the work and calling it manifestation. Now, the industry of scammers figured out something brilliant. People will pay a lot of money to avoid discomfort. Shocking, right? Now, you wrap that avoidance in words like vibration, alignment, and universe, and suddenly, it doesn't feel like avoidance. It feels like growth. And that's the con. Here's something the manifestation crowd really doesn't want to hear. You can repeat, I am confident every morning for 10 years, write it on your mirror, tattoo it on your forehead, whatever. But when you walk into a room, when something actually matters, a high-stakes meeting, a crucial conversation, a decision that could change everything, you'll watch all those affirmations suddenly vanish. Why? Because under pressure, you don't act on what you wish you believed. You act on what you actually believe, deep down in your bones. And your brain doesn't care that much about affirmations. It cares about evidence and survival. And when pressure hits, it defaults to whatever it believes to be true based on that evidence and past experience, not what you repeated in the mirror this morning. So you can try to layer positive beliefs on top of negative ones all day long, but you're not replacing anything. You're putting a fresh coat of paint on a crumbling foundation. And the moment real pressure shows up, those cracks expose. The best hypnotist in the world will even acknowledge that if you try to feed the brain something it knows isn't true, the effect will very quickly wear off. The law of attraction crowd either doesn't understand this or doesn't want to tell you, because telling you would mean they have to admit that their whole model is broken. So here's what really bothers me about this stuff, and it's probably going to hurt some feelings. The law of attraction removes all accountability and then pretends it's empowering. Think about what it's actually teaching. The universe is responsible for your results. Good things happen because you manifested them, and bad things happen because your energy was off. You're never really in control. You're just trying to manipulate some cosmic force into giving you what you want. And if it doesn't work, the problem is always you, your vibration, your doubt, your resistance, the lack of the right crystals, right? Now, that's the victim mentality wrapped in positive language. It's learned helplessness with crystals. Elite performers, they think completely differently. They take full ownership. When something goes wrong, they don't blame their vibration. They figure out what happened and fix it. When something goes right, they also don't just thank the universe. They recognize that yes, there's always a component of luck, but they also identify what actions enable them to harness that luck and create that result so they can repeat it and hopefully achieve similar results. No magical thinking, just cause and effect, action and result feedback loops. The law of attraction teaches you to outsource your success to forces outside of your control and to be passive in life. Elite performance requires you to own your results. One creates dependency, the other creates power. Pick which person you really want to be. Let me draw a very clear line here. There are two types of people in the world: wishers and doers. Wishers hope that thinking about something hard enough will make it happen. They spend hours visualizing, they journal about their ideal life, and they create vision boards and mood boards and dream boards, and they list out all their potential fears. They talk about their goals constantly. But if you ask them what they actually did this week to move forward, what actions, they'll go quiet. Doers don't care about visualization as much. They care about execution. They're not interested in what feels aligned. They're interested in what produces results. They'll do uncomfortable things before breakfast that wishers will avoid for years. Now, the manifestation industry has created an army of wishers who think they're doers. And this is where it's dangerous. There are people who genuinely believe that thinking about success is the same as creating it, when it's obviously not. Vision without execution is just daydreaming. And the law of attraction has convinced millions of people that daydreaming is the work. Elite performers spend 5 minutes on vision and the rest of the day on execution that's aligned to it. The manifestation crowd has it backwards. Hours on vision, minutes on execution. Then they wonder why nothing changes. So if wishing harder isn't the answer, what is? First, you have to understand what's actually stopping you. And I promise you, it's not your vibration or the crystals. When you can't execute on something you know you should do, one of three things is happening. One, you have a fear of uncertainty. Your brain is treating the unknown like a physical threat. So you over-research, delay decisions, micromanage, and avoid actions because moving forward feels dangerous. Two, fear of disapproval. You don't want to be judged or rejected. So you play small, avoid conflict, undercharge, and prioritize being liked over being effective. And three, there's a fear of inadequacy. You don't feel ready. You need more credentials, more preparation, more certainty. So you wait and never start. Now, these aren't vibrational problems. They're ancient survival responses. It's your primitive brain trying to protect you from threats that simply don't exist anymore. And here's the thing. No amount of positive thinking is going to rewire your brain. You cannot affirm your way out of a fear response. The manifestation crowd doesn't understand neuroscience, so they keep telling you to think positive. But your nervous system doesn't speak that language. You have to actually address the root cause or just accept that growth feels scary, and that's okay. But don't try to paint over it with vague affirmations. It simply doesn't work. In my book, Elite Performance, I teach something called the 3-step truth filter. It's the opposite of creating positive affirmations. Instead of layering new beliefs on top of broken ones, you pressure test the beliefs that are actually blocking you and holding you back. You interrogate them like a fact checker, not a motivational speaker. This is how it goes. Step 1, you get specific about the belief. Not, I have limiting beliefs or I'm afraid, but the actual belief. For example, I'll look greedy if I raise my prices. People will think I'm a fraud, or I'm not ready for that level or to make that higher yet. Step 2, ask where did it come from? What experience taught you this was true? Usually it's something from either years or decades ago that has nothing to do with your current reality. Step 3, ask if it's still true now. Does this belief actually apply to who you are today in the situation you're actually in? Take a step back and actually assess it from first principles. Now, when you run beliefs through this filter, most of them completely fall apart. You recognize that these are just beliefs, not facts. They're just old stories and mental interference that have been dragging around in your head. And that's how you actually change your mindset. Not by wishing for new beliefs, but by dismantling the ones that don't serve you. The manifestation approach is like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound and hoping it heals. The 3-step truth filter is surgery. Yes, it's not as comfortable, but it actually works. Here's what elite performers actually do instead of manifesting. They build systems. A system doesn't care about how you feel. It doesn't need you to be motivated, and it doesn't require the universe to cooperate. It doesn't depend on your vibrations being high enough or your crystals being shiny enough on a full moon. A system simply produces results regardless of your emotional state. So if you want to grow your business, don't visualize money. Build a sales system that works whether you feel confident or not. Want to perform under pressure? Great. Don't affirm confidence, but build protocols that keep you executing when everything inside wants to fall apart and freeze. The manifestation crowd talks about alignment. Elite performers talk about infrastructure. One depends on feeling right. The other one works no matter how you feel. And personally, I know which one I'd bet on. And it's not the one that comes with the crystals. Here's what I've observed after years of working with high performers. The entrepreneurs who are deep into manifestation, they usually have incredible vision. They can describe their dream life in vivid detail. They're positive. They're hopeful. They believe big things are coming. But they're really usually also the beginners who are stuck, often for years. The entrepreneurs who think manifestation is nonsense, they're a bit different. Yes, it might be less inspiring to talk to them. They're not going to have vision boards or morning affirmations, and some of them can be borderline cynical. But they're getting results. They're scaling and they're winning, and they're actually providing for themselves and their families. Now, it's not a coincidence. One group thinks about success, and the other group creates it. Now, I'll take mediocre vision with relentless execution over perfect vision with passive wishing any day of the week and twice on Sunday. Now, let me tell you why the law of attraction industry keeps growing even though it doesn't work. Because it feels good, and feeling good sells. Most people don't want to hear that success requires doing scary things. Most people want to be lied to and told that their fear responses need to be addressed through manifesting and wishing, not through hard work. Most people don't want to learn their beliefs need surgery, not affirmations. And basically, people want to hear that they can think their way to success, the universe will provide, and that if they just believe hard enough, everything will work out. Basically, it's a much easier sell, and it's a scam. And the people selling it know exactly what they're doing. They're not successful because they manifested it. They're successful because they found a market of people to exploit. And it's unfortunate. It's people desperate for an easy answer, and they sell them one. Meanwhile, their customers keep failing, keep blaming themselves, and keep buying more courses. It's a scammy but brilliant business model, but it's built on a lie and terrible ethics. So, in case it hasn't been clear so far, let me be very clear about where I stand with this. The law of attraction is for people who want to feel good. Elite performance is for people who want results. The law of attraction lets you avoid discomfort and call it strategy. It gives you a justification for excuses. Elite performance requires you to run towards strategic discomfort because that's where the growth is. The law of attraction gives you something to blame when you fail. Your vibrations, your doubt, the universe. Elite performance gives you power by owning everything. The law of attraction, it creates wishers. Elite performance creates doers. And if you've spent years manifesting and you're still stuck, I'm not going to tell you to believe harder. I'm going to offer you a truth that you've been wasting your energy. So stop wishing, start building. Stop affirming and start executing. Basically, stop waiting for the universe to deliver and to help you. Start taking ownership and making it happen. That's what elite performers do, and it's why they get their results. And if you want the full system, how to identify what's actually blocking you, run your beliefs through the 3-step truth filter, and build execution that doesn't depend on your emotional state, I put everything in the book Elite Performance, and the link's in the description. Now, if you also buy it within the next 15 minutes, you're going to get our special Elite Performer crystal. Now, just remember, you guys, there's no crystals, there's no nonsense. It's just a really actionable and simple and proven system that you can implement with special AI tools that we also provide that will help you achieve your goals in record time. The link's in the description below, and I hope it helps you win big.